Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Critical Hit. Not a mild-mannered podcast where we talk about some things. A foul-mouthed podcast where we talk about everything. I am your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Corona Warden.
Welcome back to Thunderdome.
Well, I am currently playing Risk, so...
Two mythical champions enter, and only one leaves. We are back at it again with mythical champs. Are you guys ready?
Ready?
It's the spider never ready. He's always ready.
We are Critical Hit and Mythical Champions. Round 3 starts now. Okay, a quick before we begin, as always, I must interrupt our regular...
I got beef!
Oh,
At least you're correct this time.
So here's the thing. It's actually because I was going to have, before we begin, my fucking thing got canceled. So I was gonna have a wax snack ready to do our wax snack segment. And the order got canceled on me due to stocking issues.
so you actually do got beef.
So I got beef. I got beef with I'm not gonna say the seller's name. That's a little
Throw it out there.
No.
I'm not trying to make enemies this early.
I get it.
I almost came
Go
close.
right in on it. So one thing that I'm starting the undertaking of it, right, is because I'm big for my britches. I'm remastering basically the first 10 episodes of Critical Hit. The audio really fucking sucked. And it's like, if you're starting this podcast from this episode, I'm like, fuck yeah, nice.
Yeah.
We got quips, we got different fucking intro stuff. We're established. We're doing our thing. Those previous episodes fucking sucked and they were quiet and the audio was bad. My kids were fucking wilding and you could hear it. It was just all crazy. So that's going to be the next step, is that keep an eye out for remastered original episodes.
Please don't listen to them now. Give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
Let them cook, as it were.
Yeah, the YouTube's cooking, and I'm gonna have to redo those. But yeah, remastered episodes. Keep an eye out. They'll be better. They'll be nicer. They'll be still Critical Hit, just sounding better, and you can listen to them, and it won't be like whisper quiet.
And then Crimson's laugh blows out your eardrums? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know how many people I've had to warn in the early episodes about your laugh?
So I should have just laugh trapped people. It could have been my villain fucking thing. Laugh trap would have been fucking amazing. So what I would have done is I would have taken when we got to that loud phase in our podcast, and I could have just excessively hard at random points and blew your fucking eardrums out.
That is insane. Beyond that, I don't know. I've been checking out shit. I've been kind of hyping over the. I know that Nintendo Direct is kind of like old news now, but kind of hyping a little bit about the some of the announcements.
I'm surprised that there's still fuel for that fire, because if you think about it, the Switch has been out for a long time.
8 years.
Yeah.
Hasn't dropped in price either, so they know what the fuck you're doing.
Dude, how do you have...
And if someone gets ignorant and says, oh, Nintendo doesn't have anything ready, it doesn't have anything cooking, then they go announce fucking 12 first-party titles. We're like, yeah, we got it.
it's just everything.
Yeah, just calm your fucking ass down, your silly ass.
And
Well, one of the things that is pointing to them potentially releasing a new... it's either going to be a new Mario Kart or a new console, is that support for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ends at the end of this year.
Yeah, but they've been fucking knocking that one right out of the park.
I'm telling you, I'm replaying those Arkham games. I'm playing them on a fucking Switch.
Yep.
Here's the thing. That's a cool... I don't care if a game was out however long ago. I don't give a shit. What I care about is that I can play this whole series on a handheld.
Yeah, but only 2 of the games are really worth it.
I mean, I did. I don't know about that.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Because the first one was good.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
You didn't like Arkham Knight?
No.
So Arkham Knight was a
Spoiler alert: the Jason Todd thing was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of saw it coming, but whatever.
Well, also, I think that Arkham Knight suffered from too much fucking Batmobile. Like they were like
a Batmobile in that one.
yeah. So they were like at the start of the fucking game, they're like Batmobile, and then they just didn't get out of it.
You realize we weren't doing a racing game, right? But
but now it becomes a mech.
Yeah.
But then they have
Batman Gundam.
freaking Nintendo whiling with Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Second
that one.
Detective Pikachu.
How would you?
Have you played it?
I've never played the first Detective.
It's pretty
Pikachu.
good.
I'm a bit surprised.
I think they're announcing it because the second movie's supposed to be coming out.
Yep.
Listen, I'm into that. I actually liked the movie a lot.
So
A little weird with Mr. Mime.
We don't talk about Mr. Mime.
yeah, we don't want to get on that topic.
so basically the other
Unless
thing
we're doing a top 10 worst Pokemon.
Mr. Mime,
yeah,
number one, creepy.
pretty
Jinx
much takes like
is
the
also on that list.
Jinx.
Racist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like Mr. Popo.
Jinx as a Pokemon is really cool though. Like just as far as stats go.
And did they mean it? Like, come on. Like
Yeah,
that's.
I think they meant it. Anyways,
Okay. They chose to make Jinx look like the crows from a 30s Disney cartoon.
yes.
Ooh, yeah. That's true.
But I think with Nintendo's fire friggin' direct conferences, I think that was the one theme that I was noticing is that it's June. It's kind of remember E3. It was that E3 season.
Fuck, yeah.
You want to know what? Companies have done great without E3.
Yeah, they canceled it for the next 2 years as well.
Well, they've had it canceled for like a lot of years already.
Well, right, but they just added the next two.
They ought to just hang it up because you want to know what? PlayStation's doing great. You know, Xbox does great.
Here's the thing. I think they do great with presentations.
Sonic did fucking phenomenal. Have you seen the Sonic Direct? Holy shit.
I think the only problem is that maybe E3 needs to become an indie conference. Give smaller developers the spotlight.
Right.
Here's the thing, and this is why I think it works better. Because I think it works better to not have E3 because announcements have just not been as big. You know, you can't, even when it comes to like the Xbox Direct and I'm going to call them PlayStation Xbox Directs. I don't care. That's what they are. They're just not Nintendo.
Well, I think Xbox calls it the Xbox Showcase, and then PlayStation is
State of Play.
Oh, State of Play. That's what it is.
Oh, and they actually do have experience.
So here's the thing. If you look at them, and Nintendo came out strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the announcements of the other conferences, yes, they were good, but there's just not as many like.
Okay,
whoa.
Starfield looks fucking hype.
Starfield looks hype, but even still, because I feel like we're running into this big "it's been done" problem. Because like even though Starfield is cool,
okay, but everything they showed at the Xbox Showcase was all real gameplay footage. There was no
which is a
smack
bonus.
together trailers or anything like that. They didn't primo footage or anything. It was all fucking actual in-game shit.
That is definitely a bonus, but I think you still have that problem because even you Persona 3 remake, Starfield is kind of just like No Man's Sky again.
Bro.
You know, it's kind. You see what
we're gonna have to hash this one out.
Listen, it might be an episode. I have a lot of thoughts on that.
We will indeed come back to that because it seems like you got a lot to say, Mr. Hot Take. Who hasn't had a hot take or a Pornhub reference
in like 3 or 4 episodes.
I will now.
So get your shit together.
I don't know. You're looking a little flaccid there.
Hey. Shit. My bad.
We we are starting it up again. We have opened the gates to the arena. 2 mythical champions will enter, and only one will survive. We are on round 3.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, we did it randomly for the first one. The loser of the last round got the next reveal. So I'm going to flip a coin again, a digital coin.
Yeah, because we do everything like the future over here. I have Apple Vision Pro or whatever it is.
Yes, goggles.
Fat Vision Pro.
Yeah, I'm wearing it right now.
No, he's not. He's fucking broke. So, okay, so whose heads?
Right here, man.
Okay,
I'm all
here we
about
go.
a head.
Oh, I was going to say, why don't you just have the winner of the last episode call it?
Okay, winner of the last episode, call it.
Fuck you.
Which is me.
Go for it.
Tails.
Flip. It's flipping with ellipses. Tails, you got it.
Fucker.
I'm going to let him go first.
Oh, hey, listen.
That was a twist. That was a
Okay.
fucking roller coaster.
Hey, if we're doing it like football,
Yeah, you defer the kickoff.
I always prefer to defend first
Yes.
anyway if I'm playing sports games, but I haven't enjoyed a sports game in 17 years. Madden 2006 was the last one I actually gave a shit about.
Tecmo Bowl kickoff is timeless.
Oh, Blood Bowl is fun, actually.
NFL Blitz, let's go.
NBA 2K is still good.
That's not football.
Well, not football, but you said sports game. Sports game, NBA 2K still good out there.
Okay.
Except for it has slot machines in it.
Well, fuck that. I'm
Which
not gonna
is
let that shit.
technically gambling because you can spend real world currency on it.
That's EA, man. I got a lot to.
2K is NBA.
Well, 2K, yeah. But I'm saying EA makes that landscape. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong,
because
but-
they get away with the loot boxes. So that means other competition could do the loot boxes. Anyways, that's not the point. I have a lot to say about video games. So we're going to begin, if you will. Imagine a world of angels and demons. Imagine
Okay.
in a proprietarily Jewish area, there's one particular demon who's in charge of causing chaos and harm.
Okay.
The unknown, the intangible,
Okay.
Mazikeen. So, as popularized most likely by Lucifer, the weird buddy cop show.
That's a good show, though.
I love that show, so I'm not hating on it. Try it if you haven't; it's really good. Mazikeen of the Lilum, which is not an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
They look like them, not the same thing. So basically, loosely translated, I believe the name is the one who causes harm or something to that effect. I'm gonna pull up my facts so that I'm not quoting wrong. There's more. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Damagers or those who harm. That is the general meaning of the name. This is a mischievous demon with supernatural strength, the ability to go intangible. Most likely, you will not see them. That is one of the.
This is going to be an interesting one.
So the main reason why I picked this one is not because really strength feats not that crazy.
We're both making picks that can fight a Valkyrie.
That's kind of okay. So this was my counter pick. This is Street Fighter.
Okay.
Street Fighter rules. So has the ability of telepathy.
Okay.
Has the ability of telekinesis, and has the ability. I'm gonna save that one.
That's your spec?
That's my spec.
I know what my spec is, so.
Has the control over demonic magic or the
Okay.
dark arts, which is, stereotypical dark magic. We kind of all have a general idea of that. And dimensional travel within reason. It's not really an anywhere type of thing, but they can indeed travel between dimensions. That's how they get to their prey and all of that. But it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm fighting them. They're just like, and back in. You know what I'm saying? So they can also, generally speaking, so there's ranks as in anything, but in their more powerful forms, they can cause forms of disaster.
Mm-hmm.
They can cause natural disaster. They can even just cause, which I'm actually going to hold that a little bit because that also goes into my spec.
Okay.
But yes, it potentially can cause natural disaster. Intangible when wants to be, generally strong, generally has dark magic. The strength part of it is not the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
The magic's gonna be the main thing. If you catch this thing, probably not gonna do well just hand to hand, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Will likely just get ripped to shreds.
So
Not physically very strong.
not at all. So here's the thing, there's a stereotypical immortality factor, but they're not unkillable. They're immortal. So
Yeah.
if you get your hands on them, it might turn into a Hub video pretty quick because they're pretty good looking. Have you ever seen them?
yeah,
They're just pretty chick demons.
They're pretty.
Oh
yeah,
boy, this makes my pick so interesting.
So I would say, as far as the main takeaways is the ability to go intangible, and dark magic is kind of their main thing.
Mhm.
They have the ability to fly, which is useful, but they're not particularly fast flyers. They just can move around in the air, and more often than not, they attack when you don't know it.
Mhm.
So that's kind of, as a base overview, that's kind of the summary of my pick, so to speak. So if you're ready to try to take on my probably hot black-haired demon,
Okay.
what do you got?
The mists part over the mountains during the Warring States period of feudal Japan.
Damn it, you were doing a Japan with it. I was going to go to Japan with it.
Standing on a mountain is a man overlooking his army. As the enemies approach, the troops suffer no damage. The enemy general approaches him. And then he turns into a giant fucking spider and eats him. It's Suchi Gumo time, baby!
That's cool. All right, that's cool.
The intro game's so fucking raw in this episode.
Suchi Gumo is literally translated as dirt or earth spider. And it is generally used to refer to renegade local clans, but it is also an actual mythological creature.
Okay, all right. So what do we got with this big spider guy?
Mastery of illusion magic to the point where they can make illusory armies.
Okay,
Oh,
cool. That
Now, those illusions are just that. Like, they can't hurt you or anything, but it is good for misdirection or anything like that. But that also means invisibility, things of that nature when it comes to making illusions.
well built into that intro, by the way. Kudos to that. Damn
Yeah.
it.
That's actually based on the real mythology.
that was sick.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
So they are smarter than humans because they hunt humans. They are a shapeshifter, and they can take the form of oni, ogres, other yokai, men, women, children, whatever. Just like most of the other Japanese shapeshifters, they're...
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah. They are actually proficient with the weapons of the forms that they take. So if they go oni, they're good with the kanabo.
Oh, sweet.
That's kind of, oh, wow. That's a pretty big bonus. Wow.
Yeah. If you cut their stomach, spiders come out of it. A bunch of baby Tsuchigumos.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. It also means you got to pick your cuts.
Hmm.
There's also the fact that it is still a giant fucking spider. Spiders are fast. Spiderweb is technically stronger than steel. And this is a massive spider, so amp up that spiderweb strength even higher.
I'm writing down all that spider shit.
Yeah. Well, they can climb, they
That's-
can jump. Technically speaking, because it's a spider, it can shoot a balloon of silk into the air and ride the wind.
If I ever, okay, so quick aside before you continue. it's already scary enough to see normal spiders doing spider shit. Like, oh man, little fucking spider gonna fucking do some creepy shit. I don't like that. Imagine you see a giant fucking spider just floating through the air on a fucking parachute of web.
Yeah.
Probably able to talk to you.
Yes, they can speak.
Nope. If I'm in feudal Japan, I'm just gonna real quick call it a day.
'Cause there's, if you remember in Mythical Creatures, I did mention that I forget the full name, but it was another Gumo. It's they take the form of pretty women to then eat young men.
So your final moments is like you're oh man, about to get this going with
those particular ones, they're generally only interested in feeding on lustful young men. Tsuchigumos are like warlords. They want to conquer. They're generally evil.
That is cool.
You know, fuck that. That's all I gotta say. I don't like spiders, so
I'm keeping my spec factor as well, but that's pretty much the roundup.
That is okay. There's a lot to go into this. The obvious stuff is going to be like both really good at illusions. And obviously the Valkyrie, I could tell, had a lot of influence on this one because whoever eventually this round of fighters are going to have to go against each other, and Valkyrie is going to be freaking hard to deal with just because of that. Just it's straight up overwhelming amounts of strength and actual skill. So being able to trick someone out is really important, not just for this fight but for the next ones.
I would have had a better time if a particularly male like humanoid thing was picked. I would have had a better time, but this is gonna be a little harder than I thought.
Your pick was very interesting to hear about. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
So as I'm kind of imagining these different creatures, they both suffer from the same problem. They're very smart, very tricky, schooled in a whole lot of magic, but in one way, shape, or form, they are not going to be able to survive if you can disbelieve every single thing that they throw at you and get in on them.
There are spiders that do specialize in full frontal assaults, technically.
Yes.
Spiders coming at me, I'm gone. That's why I'm glad the Mythical Champions dealing with it.
Right? So, like, the spider's going to have the edge as far as just a straight slugfest. It doesn't seem like Mazakine is going to have, like, any type of, once all the magic's done, can she just run up and just start fucking... She can't get up and start shaking.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
So
I will say, technically speaking, in the story where Tsuchigumo is mentioned, the warrior that kills them is using a standard katana.
So their
web is a better defense than their own body, but he cuts them open and skulls and baby spiders.
One thing I will say, as far as standard combat ability, it is there. Not any type of massive strength, but as being a creature of a traditional hell, generally speaking, anybody can shake, but not against a massive fucking spider. I'm just gonna sum that up like that. There's no chance.
The other thing is, once you've killed Tsuchigumo, if you do it the wrong way, you get that second wave of tiny spiders, and that's like that last little parting fuck you.
And it's all baby Tsuchigumos.
Yes. So they all, to some extent, probably in baby form, probably don't have all the extra stuff. Like, they can't make fucking illusory armies or anything.
Nothing like that. But I mean, they can still like go invisible and shit. They have some base level.
Yes. And the amount of them would be fucking horrifying, because imagine you see those like weird, like those Australian videos where they got like the fucking
huntsman.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one I saw. This dude was pushing it with a broom. whipped around and climbed up the broom at his face.
Nope, I'm out. I would. Did we talk about this yet? I'm never going to Australia.
No, we got some pretty fucking scary spiders around here. That was really high pitch. I don't know why I did that.
We do have wolf spiders.
We have wolf spiders. We have grass spiders that get fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's grass spiders. We're not talking about fucking, I'm going to call them death spiders because that's the only thing that they could be.
Right, like a baby Tsuchigumo is probably going to be like as big as your fucking head.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
Australia basically has baby Tsujigumos. So that's what we're going with. Except they're like fucking crikey gumos.
Dinner-sized plate tarantula running
Yeah.
at you like a fucking cat.
Yep, fuck that. Nope.
So for Mazakine, I'm trying to figure out, like, obviously dark magic can do a lot of stuff. You could do things such as conjure some fire, I would bet.
Yeah.
You know, strike with some lightning. Maybe do some wind stuff. So that's going to be one of those things where it within the right environments, Mazakine can basically bypass a lot of the physical defensive things of Tsuchigumo. As soon as one can overcome the illusions, which I'm gonna assume, since they're both pretty well versed in illusions, the illusion game is gonna be pretty quick and done with.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine. Is that they would try to bewitch the other. One would try to friggin', oh, there's a lot more of me than you think. And then she'd be like, nah, dude, I can see that. But how about this? And he'd be like, nah, dude. And then be like, as soon as the initial like jabbing was done and dusted, it goes straight to combat. And it would likely be if we were to run the sim, as it were, it would all come down to just straight shaking. I think webs would be ridiculous. You get caught up in webs, you're done. If we're going by like D&D OGL fucking rules, right? There are certain spells that you just speak them and shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And I would assume probably all demons have more or less that.
Yeah.
Tsuchigumo is no exception. There's a lot harder of a time that you would have trying to tie down a fucking spider. A regular human-sized chick against a spider has a lot more potential for just getting wrapped up quick. Just stuck. You're in webs. Fire could burn webs.
Yes.
You know?
But fire could also burn you.
Yeah.
I would say
Mazakine isn't immune to flame?
No.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, there is no outward immunities to anything. You when it comes to shaking, theoretically you could shank Mazakine,
but it seems to be the weakness for both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Tsuchigumo was killed by just a dude with a sword. Well, not just a dude. I'm sure he was very skilled.
Yeah.
But that's what it's turning down to. As soon as one can land a serious hit on the other, then it comes to like instant death, like, you know, basically luck of the draw type of thing.
Yeah.
I think as far as once again, this is going to be a close one because
are we hitting spec factor?
Yeah, because I keep saying, you know, it comes down to shaking, but it ain't that simple. Because they each got some things that they can throw on the other.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty big gamble when I was looking into it anyways. I was like, this is going to be a situation where there's two things. That's the spec factor and intangibility. That's going to be the main thing. Because yes, like spellcraft is great, but like, am I going to sit here and think that other mythical champions aren't going to have spellcraft or even just a way to get past it or something like that? But here's my big thing. So Mazikeen has the ability to, as I said earlier, cause disaster. Well, it's not just natural disaster like weather-based. Mazikeen can jinx you
Okay.
with incredible, horrible luck.
Okay.
So, you know, some examples were given is like if a warrior was to come and try to kill Mazikeen, you would have the horrible luck of your sword decides to break as you're trying to swing at her. Or if you have armor that's particularly strong, the armor starts to become weak and brittle and crack. So,
Or the straps break.
or the straps break. You know, just uncanny, horrible luck.
Okay.
So that's the one thing, and this was kind of a huge gamble when I looked at it because it's like bad luck theoretically could manifest in a lot of different ways. But if we're having somebody who has direct control over somebody's
Oh, that is so directly against the probability of the Valkyrie. I love it.
you see what I did there. So if you can direct somebody's battle luck, so to speak, because there is in every battle, no matter how skilled both combatants are, there is some factor of luck in there. So if you have control of that, you then could potentially have a pretty strong spec factor. Now, that combined with being able to go intangible, which specifically also picked in the case of the Valkyrie, if you need to escape things, going intangible is a very useful.
Because intangible is so much better than invisible.
Yes.
Because invisible is like, you can't see me, thonk. You're gone still.
So that, with the idea of something like a jinx, if you will say, it could be a bad luck, you step your big spider leg in a giant pit. Traps you up just enough to get hit by something, you know what I'm saying? Just fine example. I'm sure, there's many other probably more useful examples, but I don't got battle IQ. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's
Cause here's mine. Tsuchigomo is a 60-foot long spider. It is a small kaiju.
Yeah. Things fucking
I didn't think about I thought about it like maybe 60-foot long spider.
I would here's
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's
a
my
lot.
spec factor.
That's a lot of shit to kill.
Fucking massive.
Yeah, that's a lot to take out. That's a lot of real estate to cover. And because that's the thing about, like, if you think about an insect, spider, whatever it might be, there's a lot. It's not easy to kill. You could even smash a spider being human size versus a little spider, and those things are still kicking.
Yep.
Now
that's why you gotta twist.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that thing.
Drag the foot.
Don't let it come back as a Tsuchigumo.
Yeah. So, I mean, just by that virtue alone, because you imagine, human-sized person versus human-sized person, right? Those lucky hits become very deadly very fast. A couple of lucky hits could still more or less simply injure a 60-foot long fucking spider.
Yeah. That's a little I wasn't expecting that because that's a pretty big deal.
I guess I didn't know what I was expecting. Because when you hear giant spider, your mind's going to go to a lot of different spots, but like 60 foot, that's like 3 cars back to back to
That's
back.
more than that.
It's like 3 trucks.
It's 3 2-story houses.
Nope.
Wait, hold the fucking phone.
I'm shanking myself, man. I don't care.
Okay, that's so it wouldn't even be physical. You'd have wow. And then if you cut its stomach open, baby versions of that, which have got to in their own right be pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
You're not just coming up against tarantulas.
You're kind of up against like golden retriever.
Yeah.
Tyrant tarantulas.
Tarantulas.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a tough one. That's a fucking tough one, dude. So, yeah, so physical fights are not happening.
Nope. I will say,
really have to. It's magic. You're setting the thing on fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your wins are going to come from setting it on fire and like outlasting it until it took enough damage to die.
Remember, though, it can turn into something that is immune to fire. It is still a shapeshifter.
It can transform.
this is true. However, I will say this. If you do take form of something that is immune to fire, that does potentially open you up to other
It does.
weaknesses.
I will agree.
So that might help. Because so far, I mean, that's a big fucking spider. Like,
Right. But you do have the advantage of agility. As
Yes.
long as Mazikeen can avoid webs,
There's potentiality for moves. You can pull moves.
like Mazikeen's got to be coating the battlefield in fire because technically, if Tsuchigumo transforms, no more webs.
Yeah.
So there's a cost benefit analysis for transforming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Useful, but risky. Very useful. Because, I
think transformation would probably happen fairly often in a number of fights, simply because with a target that's small,
Yeah.
that moves around that quickly, if Mazikeen is very agile, then it will start to rely on transforming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you run 1,000 of them, transformations will probably happen several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because neither is likely to get the drop on the other, because one is a demon with a lot of probably otherworldly senses.
Yeah.
Also, a spider is fucking hard to hide. A 60-foot long spider is hard. It'd be hard to sneak. You'd have to be pretty drunk. You'd have to be fucking.
Actually, believe it or not, it has snuck up on entire towns.
Fucking.
I get it. I get a town.
But no, I get where you're coming
Like,
from.
you see this motherfucking tiptoeing. What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck is the name of the caterpillar in Mario?
Oh, Wiggler.
Wiggler.
Yes, the
yeah,
Wigglers.
yeah.
It's just out here like a wiggler.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got that.
Yep. Like, are you sneaking? Maybe.
You don't see me if you want to live.
Yeah. It's like, gotcha. I'm out. Bye. But I will leave this town. I will serve you forever. Whatever you need. As long as I don't have to get fucking murdered by a giant fucking 60
Foot.
foot.
50 foot long.
Fuck that.
So on Tsuchigumo's side, it is a spider, and all of the regular spider shit that go into its senses. So take a tarantula for instance, its hairs that cover its body from tip to tail.
Yeah.
They also act as a form of sense, tremor sense, if you will. If the winds change with a creature flying around it, it's gonna know. Intangibility could theoretically prevent an early detection, but at the same time, you go intangible, you fly up, then what do? You decloak and try to give them every fucking thing you got, because you can't physically. I'm ruling that Mazikeen is not physically strong enough to turn this dude up.
Yeah.
Nope. I would agree there.
So you'd have to come out with like a full fucking salvo of all your best magical bullshit. You can't just be like, I'm gonna set him on fire. No, you better fucking open up an inferno. Like, you better get you better get busy in a hurry.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that thing's just going to turn and fuck you up. The spec factors. Well, I haven't stopped talking about Tsuchigumo's spec factor.
It's an always on spec factor.
Yeah, dude, don't have to activate it. It's always there.
that shit updates like my Xbox.
Yep, always going. The spec factor of being able to conjure natural disasters. We can say maybe with enough mojo, an earthquake. Okay? Maybe you don't have to fight him.
Right.
Maybe you get him into a cave. You trigger an earthquake.
That is their usual den, though.
You hope that it can't run fast enough to get out.
Yeah.
So you start the fight. You realize you're in way the fuck over your head. And then you trigger an earthquake. And you don't need to beat... And Tsuchigumo does not need to beat Mazakine. Tsuchigumo needs to stop itself from being squashed by a full mountain. That's a way to do it.
It's
It's a fucking way to do it. Battlefield probability and the luck magic, right? That will come in handy, right? For negating being instantly killed.
Yeah.
Because getting stuck in webs and then just being eaten by a spider, that just happens and it sucks. Causing Tsuchigumo to get frustrated at your constant swift flying about, transform, and then do something to the transformed being would probably be the best option.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Being able to make him twist his ankle and then stab him right away. You know what I mean? Or snap his neck if he's in a humanoid form. Or if he's coming after you in like a quadrupedal like dog or a wolf or something like that. Just find a way to get the drop on him and just snap his neck.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, I feel like I do agree with that getting Tsuchigumo into a more vulnerable form would kind of be... That would be the mission, so to speak. Because even though you could potentially have enough random pitfalls happen that you can maybe get all of his legs tied up, and, that's a lot less likely than, getting him to transform. You know what I'm saying?
Because theoretically, a spider could lose half of its total legs.
Right. As long as it's on separate sides,
Yeah.
it's still good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say for the earthquake thing, if it transforms into a flying creature, yes, that opens up the vulnerability of transforming,
Yes.
but it's no longer on Earth.
Yeah, it's definitely a better escape method at that point.
Yeah. I mean, even still, it would take a lot to happen quickly to trap him even in his spider form. Yeah, this is
This is a tough one.
I'm not going to be mad either way. We both
Yeah.
picked excellent creatures.
Yeah.
so I think it's time to render a verdict.
All right, here we go.
Okay. After much deliberation,
We've run the simulation 1,000 times.
1,000 times. I think our most deadly warrior, most deadly combatant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tsuchigumo.
Oh yeah. All right.
I think that it would likely be close in a lot of ways, but just the ability to tank a lot of damage. I mean, even the obvious thing, like the most dangerous thing would be trapping him in the earth, in a cave, causing a landslide, something like that, or setting him on fire. And those things I envision are being mitigated almost all the time.
Yeah.
If even by something as simple as transforming, and even then it transforms into something that has its own separate sets of dangers and doesn't rule out the fact that it could transform into something equally as big.
Yeah.
So I think, despite the bag of tricks, which Mazikeen has a ton of, including intangibility, which is a huge game changer, I think Tsuchigumo takes it.
There's not a definitive enough killing blow. I will say that.
Yep.
That's why I mean it was a big risk, and I think if you didn't pick a kaiju, I think that'd be pretty good. But I can't accept that, because the truth is it's just there's too much. Because once you transform once, you're not stuck. So you could transform once to get out of a tight situation, transform back, or transform into something else.
Yeah.
So once you transform, you're not stuck there. And that's one of the biggest things. If I think if Mazikeen had more of a I could step in and out of dimensions as I please kind of thing, might be a little harder. But
pop out, cut off a leg, pop away.
Yeah, it's pretty much solely for just long distance travel.
Yep.
So, I can accept that. There's a lot to kill there. Like, even just as far as just the amount of things it can transform into, there's a lot to kill.
Yeah.
So.
Now, as Tsuchigumo's reward, it becomes it gets to surf the web as much as it wants.
Oh my lord, really? Well, here's the thing. I have a reward for you, Chrono.
Okay.
With your spider winning. Stay be ready for next time.
Okay.
I got a little something for you.
Okay. No, I'm excited. I enjoy these.
Yes. No, I actually greatly do. That was a good one.
Holy shit.
and the lockstep of ability types. I was like, yeah, okay, they're coming correct, and they're gonna. Not only are they trying to win this one, they know who they're gonna have to go after next. And I don't know, Tsuchigumo, you're looking awfully cuttable over there.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is I kind of went into it, I think, more with the Valkyrie in mind, and I sort of forgot there's another combatant I gotta take her first.
Other combatants as well. Like we're almost through the end of the first heat, right?
We have one more, and then we go into the semifinals. As it were.
I gotta come strong next time, man.
Yep. You gotta get more dogs in the race.
Yeah.
As it were. And with that, we have reached the end. Congratulations to the surviving mythical champion, and at least an honorable death, the one who didn't make it.
Poor Mazikeen. Oh. Still one of my favorite characters in the show, Lucifer.
Oh yeah.
Watch Lucifer. If it was that Mazikeen, I might have a better.
Yeah. If it was that Mazikeen, it's a lot.
Because she be caught in all types of things.
Well, she also has Hellblades. So.
Yeah.
And spiders are very vulnerable to fire.
Find us wherever you find your mythical Battlefield podcasts. Only one, just us.
The original.
Google, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, Amazon as well.
You fucking too.
You fucking too. Find us
now officially PG-13.
Yes.
Peggy 18.
Ooh, nice.
Find us on Twitter at CritHitOfficial. New episodes every Friday. Almost said Thursday again.
New release schedule.
Yeah, gotta get used to it.
Until then, We got to clean up all the demon parts.